Well, the first question is, which of the given four complex will not exhibit optical isomerism? Now, we all know the compound which is disymmetric are optically active. In other words, if a compound has a plane of symmetry, then the compound will be optically inactive. If you look at this particular isomer, CONS3 and Cl3, it can exist in two different forms. This is one form, in which all the chlorine will be in the same phase. Similarly, all the ammonia will be on the same. This is called the facial. It can exist in another way. In which you have these two chlorine opposite to each other. You have these two ammonia opposite to each other, and then another NH3. Now, if you look at this one, this has the plane of symmetry. If you draw a plane, it will bisect in two equal halves, which is the mirror image of each other. So this will not be optically active because it has a plane of symmetry. Similarly, if you draw a plane across this surface, then like if this is your plane becomes, then also you will find it will be divided into two halves, the mirror image of each other. And hence, this is one complex which will not exhibit optical isomerism. So they can get. The second question, you have C2, N2, O2 and S2. And the question is, which of the following expected to be diamagnetic? Now, if I concentrate on the first, there is carbon. Carbon, that is, you have 1s2, 2s2 and 2p2. If I look at the molecular orbital diagram, this is pi py, this is pi pz, sigma px. Now, two carbon molecules, that is, we have 4 electrons. That is, they first filled up. Hence, carbon will be diamagnetic. But if you look at nitrogen, That electronic configuration is 1s2, 2s2 and 2p3. That is, you have 6 electrons, and again if you look at it, this is the outer orbitals diagram, that is pi py, this is pi pz, and then the sigma px. If you look at, the 6 electron can be arranged in this way. Again, all the orbitals are paired up, you don't have any unpaired electron, hence nitrogen is also a correct answer. So both the answer is correct. It could be carbon, C2, it could be N2. Now the next question is, a solution of 1-chloro 1-phenylethane in toluene and in presence of SbCl5 racemizes. This is due to formation of, and the option given were anion, carbene, carbocation of free radical. This SbCl5 is a Lewis acid, and hence we will be getting carb cation. It will generate a carb cation being polar, again racemizes. So the correct answer is carb cation. Reduction potential of some of the junctions are given, and based on those values, the question is, strongest oxidizing agent is, and these are the options that he has given: Cl minus, Cl plus 3, Mn plus 2, or MnO4 minus. Now we all know, greater the reduction potential, greater will be its tendency to get reduced, which in turn means it will be a more oxidizing agent. Based on this has the greatest value, reduction potential, it will be reduced at a greater ease, and hence it is the strongest oxidizing agent, and your correct answer is MnO4 minus. Now, a piston filled with 4 mole of a gas, it expands reversibly from 50 ml to 375 ml at a constant temperature T is equal to 37 degrees. And in doing so, it absorbs 208 joule of heat. Now the 4 options are given. Since the process is isothermal, del U is equal to 0. So the value of work and Q, numerical value should be equal, and that is equal to 208 joule. Now, since work is done by the system, the work should be negative, and since heat is absorbed by the system, Q should be positive, and only Q should be positive, thus Q has a positive, and so this is the correct answer. Q should be the positive, work done should be negative, so the first option is the correct option. When 750 milliliter of 0.5 molar HCl is mixed with 250 milliliter of 2 molar HCl, then the molarity of the resulting solution will be, and 4 option is given. We know molarity of the resulting solution when you are adding, mixing identical things, means acid with acid or base with base, then this is nothing but V1M1 plus V2M2 divided by V1 plus V2. And when you put in this equation, you will find your answer will be 0.875 and hence option 1 is the correct option. The 4th compound is given and the question is the decreasing order of their acidic character. Now we all know that electron withdrawing group will stabilize the anion. Phenol is acidic because when hydrogen is removed, it gives you phenoxide ion. The substituents or the groups which stabilizes this anion will ultimately increases the acidic character. NO2 is a strong minus R as well as minus I group, and hence the 3rd option should be the most acidic, and based on this, even without going into further detail, we can say that the 3rd option is the correct option. Still, if you look at OMe group is the electron releasing group, that will decrease the stability and that will be the least. So, 3rd is the most, 4th is the least. This is the correct option. The ratio of most probable velocity is to average velocity is to RMS, and 4 options are given. Now, Rotober 2RT by M Rotober 8RT by pi M is to root over 3RT by N. Now, this becomes 1:1.128 is to 1.225. The 3rd option that matches with this result, hence the correct answer is 3. Rate of a chemical reaction doubles when the temperature is raised from 300 Kelvin to 310 Kelvin. activation energy of such reaction is. Now we know ln of R2 by R1 is equal to EA by R 1 by T1 minus 1 by T2. This R is constant. Now putting the value, we get, since that it is double, so I can write down log of 2 is equal to EA by 2.303 into the value of R is 8.314, 1 by 300 minus 1 by 310. Now, on calculating, you get this value is, it comes 53.54 kilojoule per mole. Hence, the first option is the correct option. A compound having molecular mass 180 is acylated with CH3COCl to get a product of molecular weight 390. The number of NH2 group present is and has given 4 options. Now, let us look at it. Suppose we have RNH2 and that is treated with acid chloride CH3 C double bond O Cl. That will give us RNH C double bond O CH3. Now if you look at it, that net increase in weight for per molecule or per NH2 is 42 gram. Therefore, the number of NH2 group is nothing but 390 minus 180 by 42. That is equal to 5. So 5 is the correct answer. Which of the following arrangement does not represent the correct order of property stated against it? Now, this type of question should always be attempted from the first choice. And in the first choice, what we are finding a disparity in this. The number of unpaired electron in iron plus 2 is 4. You have 4 unpaired electron. Whereas the number of unpaired electron in Mn plus 2 is 5. So, definitely, greater the number of unpaired electron, greater is the paramagnetic behavior. So, logically, Fe plus 2 should be less than Mn plus 2. And hence, number 1 is the correct option. 3 ions are given. They are all cations. First one is the allylic cation. Second one is the primary cation. And the third one is the benzylic cation. And the question is the order of stability. Now, greater the number of resonating structure, greater is the stability. This benzyl can have one resulting structures something like this. We can write another structures. Yes. We can write another canonical structures. So if you look at it, the number of canonical structure is 3. The allyl one, we can write one canonical structure by simply moving this bond. And primary doesn't have any canonical structures. So 3 is greater than 1, which in turn is greater than 2. This is the stability order. And in this case, the fourth one is this order, and number 4 is the correct answer. An ionic equation is given and very popular reactions, MnO4 minus with oxalate ion in acidic medium, that gives Mn+2 carbon dioxide and water. And the question is, the value of X, Y, Z in these reactions are, and has given 4 options. Now, in acidic medium, MnO4 minus, that gives us Mn+2. To balance oxygen, I will write 4H2O. To balance hydrogen, I will write 8H+. So you have 5 electron on this side. Similarly, oxalate, C2O4 minus 2, that gives us 2CO2 plus 2 electron. So multiply the first equation with 2 and second equation with 5. Then you add, then it comes 16H plus twice MnO4 minus plus 5 oxalate ion, that is equal to twice Mn+2 plus 8H2O plus 10 CO2. So your X, that is MnO4 minus is 2, your Y, that is oxalate, that is 5, and your Z, that is H plus, that is 16. So 2, 5 and 16, number 3 is the correct option. Now 4 statements are given about ozone molecule. The first is ONCl and ONO are not isoelectronic. O3 molecule is bent, that's the second statement. Ozone is violet black in solid state. Ozone is diamagnetic. If I start from the bottom, ozone is diamagnetic, and the question is here is you have to identify the statement that is wrong. Now if I start from the bottom, ozone is diamagnetic, that's the correct statement. Ozone is violet black in solid, that is also correct statement. The molecular structure of ozone is bent, that is also correct statement. Then NOCl and ONO are not isoelectronic. Now this is the statement where you have one thing on the basis of which you can say this is not exactly a correct statement, because these two are valence isoelectronic. So number 1 is the correct answer. A gaseous hydrocarbon on combustion gives 0.72 gram of water and 3.08 gram of carbon dioxide. And based on this, you have to find out empirical formula of this hydrocarbon. Now, for the hydrocarbon CXHY plus X plus Y by 4 O2, that gives XCO2 plus Y by 2 H2O. Now for 1 mole, you get X mole of this and Y by 2 mole of this. Now if you look at 3.08 gram, 3.08 by 44, and 0.72 gram is 0.72 by 18. That is, number of moles of water is 0.04. And this is 0.07. So now we can say X is equal to 0.07 and Y by 2 is equal to 0.04. Therefore, Y is equal to 0.08. So, C 0.07 and Y 0.08. We can write this as C7 C7H8, and the correct option is 4th. 4 is the correct answer.